Hello guys, and welcome to a new Let's Play series for a game called Distrust. This is a survival exploration game and it's based on a book by Leonard Carpenter called The Thing. It basically follows a team of scientists, explorers who have been a part of a rescue party called to a research base in the North Pole, and apparently something happened at the base and they called for a helicopter, but on the way to the base the helicopter crashed and only a couple of people survive. So basically we are going to control them as we try to find out, as we explore the base and try to find out what happened. So let's get started with a new game. Yes, I want to start a new game. Alright, so in the beginning we are asked to select the difficulty. There are two modes. Basically adventure is more like storyline modes. It allows us to focus more on the plot and not so much on the actual gameplay, since the game can be pretty challenging, but obviously this is meant as practice. The challenge mode is the real game, I should say. Basically, as you can see, in the adventure mode there are some limitations. Basically you can only unlock 2 characters. So in the game you can play with a variety of characters, and in adventure mode you can only unlock 2. So unlocking happens once you fulfill certain requirements. Yeah, the type of buildings are instantly indicated on the map. This is actually a huge help, and it makes for a smoother gaming experience, but also makes it easier. So for this particular let's play, I am just going to start with adventure mode, as I explained the game, but later on I guess I'll try challenge mode as well if I decide to do another playthrough of this game. Alright, let's get started. So as you can see, there are 3 slots for explorers that we can select, and basically when I first started the game you could only choose 2 characters out of those 3. I have unlocked several of the other characters by playing the game in challenge mode and fulfilling the requirements. Actually, if you hover over these are portraits of the characters which haven't been unlocked yet. You're going to see what the requirements are to unlock this particular character. For example, this one, it says smoke 10 cigarettes during a single game in challenge mode. So as you can see, this character can only be unlocked in challenge mode, and you have to do this particular thing, like smoke 10 cigarettes. So yeah, I mean, you can see here what you can do to unlock those characters. So we have a large variety of characters to choose from, but for the first game I'm actually going to go with those 2, and I'm going to go with them because once you start your first game, as I mentioned, you're only going to have those 3 available. So I want to really simulate what the experience, the first time playing experience that you're going to have the first time you play the game. So you're going to have like only those 3. So both of those characters, they have a short bio. For example, this guy is Olaf Haraldsson, and actually he starts with a gas can in his inventory, which is going to be one of the resources we need throughout the game to survive. And this is Irma Dillinger. She doesn't start with anything. So apart from the inventory, what else you can see is a short description of the character. For example, Olaf is the head of housekeeping. Basically he is a custodian. which makes him the most important person on the base. Without him, life in the Arctic would be unbearable. He has 15 years experience in his line of work and can operate a variety of mechanisms with his eyes closed. Okay, so this is just the description. So if you hover over this icon here, you can see what his special ability is. And it's called Expert Polar Explorer. This character needs fewer planks to kill the furnace, and generators work longer when he fuels them. Alright, so you find out what this means once we start the game, but basically if we need to start a fire, which is actually going to come in handy in the game, then this guy is going to start the fire with fewer amount of resources, and actually he can load the energy generators with less fuel, and he already comes with fuel, so this is good. So Irma Dillinger is basically a psychologist actually, and okay. Moreover, she prefers to eat light and can spread the feeling of hunger for a long time. So this is her special ability. Basically, she doesn't require as much food as the other explorers. She gets hungry slower. So this is also really useful quality, as you'll find out in the game. So finally, each of the characters has 3 different characteristics: cold resistance, walking speed, and running speed. So as you can see, Olaf has a decent cold resistance and decent running speed, but very slow walking speed. And Irma is actually a jack of all trades but master of none, so she has like 2 out of 3 in all 3 qualities. But enough about the explorers, let's start the game. So this game has a really nice atmosphere, which is one thing I really like about it. So there is like an ongoing mystery that we have to solve about what happened in the research base. Okay, we're ready to go. So this is our helicopter that crashed. Okay, first things first. So we have our 2 characters. We can select them using the keys, the number keys. So one thing that you immediately need to do, and it's not so obvious from the start, is you need to go inside a building. So you do that by just clicking the interior of a building. And now I'm going to explain why. As you can see, there are 3 meters up here: warmth, stamina, and satiety. Okay, basically how hungry we are. So once we are outside, the warmth is going to fall really fast, and let me show you. So now we have 2 arrows or 3 arrows, so it's going to start falling faster and faster. So the way to get warm is to get inside a building which is heated. Okay, so the other 2 meters, stamina and satiety. Stamina is just going to fall gradually unless we sleep, and satiety is again going to fall down gradually unless we eat. So further on we can find food and beds in order to increase those 2 meters, but for now they're just going to gradually fall down. Alright, so now we are inside, we are warm, and by the way, once any of those 3 vitals goes to 0, we're going to start losing health, which is this meter over here. And once our health goes to 0, then the character dies. Alright. So what else is there here? Here we have a map of the area, and since we are playing adventure mode and not challenge mode, as you can see there are some icons on each building. These are buildings, and this actually, as you can see, there are 6 zones, and apparently we have to go through all 6 of them. So zone 6 is the one where the incident happened, which forced the rescue team to be called. But we start in zone 1 and have to work our way through all 5 zones until we reach zone 6 and find out what happened. So there, by the way, I think the maps are procedurally generated, they're randomized, so every game you play, the outlook, the layout is going to be a bit different for each map, for each zone. But the buildings are going to follow like certain common patterns, or there are certain types every time. And in adventure mode you can see the type of the building from the map right away. If you're playing challenge mode, you have to actually enter the building to figure out what kind of building it is. So the kinds of buildings is, for example, this is the infirmary, this is the kitchen, this is tool shed, this is a bedroom where you can sleep, another kitchen, and this is a living room, where again I think you might have a bed to sleep or you might not, but just in general you can find some useful resources there. Okay, so this is the map. So this is the inventory. If you remember correctly, we started with one gas can, and actually all of our characters share an inventory, so it's kind of like they have a shared space. It's like the cloud. Basically, once any of them finds an item, the other character can use it right away, even if the two characters are in completely different locations. Yeah, just go with it. Alright, and throughout the game we're going to get some useful tools which are going to appear here, which are going to allow us to do certain things. Okay, so let's continue with the actual game. So as you can see, certain objects are highlighted, and the object which have this icon basically means that they can be searched. So let's search through this sack of coal, and each action takes certain time, which is denoted by, I guess, this bar which goes around. Okay, and this icon means investigate. As you can see, it finished much faster. So each action takes a different amount of time. Okay, so we read a note which says, "We couldn't wait for you. The anomalies are out of control. Mitch and I left instructions for how to fight them in the next medical unit. They're a result of careful observation, so follow them to a letter. Alas, this is the end for me. I'm going to sleep, never to wake up." Oh, kind of spooky. Okay, so basically one of the researchers wrote this note for whoever came after her. So there are apparently some anomalies happening, and if I remember correctly, they could be found. Instructions on how to fight them, or whatever that means, can be found in the next medical unit, which is right here. So we're gonna go get there and explore eventually. But let's do things in order. So what else? So our other character found this. So this is a couple of units of coal. So coal can be used to light those furnaces, as you can see. There are three different icons. This is coal, this is planks, and this is rotten planks. So each of those resources can be used to light those furnaces, which actually keep the room warm. So basically, as you can see, this progress bar actually is also gradually decreasing. So once it gets all the way around, then the room is not going to be warm anymore. So we need to put some coal or some planks in order to heat it up again. So this is a generator where you can put fuel, which is this resource here, and this actually turns on the electricity. So the electricity is basically allows us to see what's in the rooms, and once it turns out, everything will get dark and we have to start walking a lot slower and use the flashlight to look around. So it's good that we still have a lot of electricity. Alright, so let's continue exploring. Let's look at this nightstand, and we already went here. Let's look at this cabinet. What are we going to find? Alright, we found the keys. Oh, nice. And a jacket. Okay, so this must be the keys that unlock the doors to the base, but which key goes with which door? So basically we found the key ring for the entire base, which is very, very useful. So we can open every door now, and by the way, if you look at the map, as you can see, some of the buildings has this green icon over here, and some of them have this red one. So what this means is that this room is locked, and it cannot be you cannot just walk into it, you have to unlock it. So there are several ways to unlock it. One way is to use the keys that we just found, but this is very, very slow. This is like the slowest way. Later in the game we're going to find some lockpicks and some crowbars and some other tools that we can use to open the doors much faster, but each of them has like has advantages and disadvantages, as we'll find out. Alright, what else? We also found a jacket. Light jacket. So basically we can equip this jacket to one of our survivors. Alright, let's... I don't remember, I think both of them had the same resistance to coldness, so it doesn't really matter to who we give them. So whoever gets a jacket, the warmth meter is going to decrease slower for them when they're outside. Okay, so hopefully soon we'll have find a jacket for our other explorer as well. Okay, so I believe this means that we have explored everything in this room. As you remember, this was just the note that we already found. So let's move on. Okay, so now actually we have to explore all the rooms. Actually we don't have to explore all the rooms, but it's really recommended, because in the rooms you're going to find useful resources which we need to survive. Resources like food, like meds, like fuel for the generators and for the furnaces and so on. And also, most importantly, we're going to find out by searching the rooms what we need to do to progress. Okay? So actually I'm going to do the things a bit out of order here, just to demonstrate to you. So this is the exit. So this is the exit to zone 2, which ultimately we need to go through. But currently it's locked. So if you go to the exit, I think it's going to tell us something. Let's see. I believe we're going to find out a clue what we need to do. Okay, it's locked, it has a digital lock, but someone has torn out the wires. I could cut the wires of something else and attach them here. Okay, good. So basically this is just a hint. Basically we're going to need to find some wires somewhere in the zone and put them here, and this way we can reroute the circuit of the gate and open it and go on to the next area. But okay, let's continue our exploration. So let's see. So we already explored this room. So the next room is this one. Let's go here. And this is kitchen dining area. So here we're going to find some food. Come on, going quickly. And now as you can see, the warmth is increased really quickly. So let's check the freezer. And let's check this refrigerator. Find out what's in there. We found some candy, which is like a really weak source of sustenance. And some frozen vegetables, which we actually need to heat if we want to make the most of them. And let's see, a crate of coal. Oh, and a protein bar. Okay. So there's a few items. So those are like really as you can see, the satiety meter is decreasing. So the candy and the protein bar are going to replenish it really by just a small amount, but like the frozen vegetables are much more filling. Although we're going to have to find a stove to heat them up. Okay, we found some coal. And as you can see, there is a grayed out icon on the empty crate, which means that we can do something with it, but we're missing the correct tool. So we have to find the correct tool to do something with it. Alright, so there's a bulletin board. Let's read what says here. Jones, I've ordered workbenches for the shops. They'll be delivered and installed in every warehouse in the zone soon. My guys will finally be able to repair their tools instead of having to order new ones every week. Okay, this is actually useful information. Basically, in certain places there are workbenches where we can repair our tools. Currently we don't have any tools, but we're going to find some, and after several uses they're going to break and then we can repair them, but more on that later. Okay, now this room is explored. Let's explore next room. Actually, you know what? This room we can explore once we start going to the exit, so let's leave it for now. Let's go here now. So this is the bedroom. As you can see, our stamina is already decreasing rapidly, so we can spend some time to sleep there. Okay, where are we? Ah, there we are. Okay, let's see. Nightstand, another nightstand. Okay, some pills and some dirty bandages, unfortunately. So pills are going to help us if we get sick or poisoned, and bandages are going to help us if we get cut or injured. However, these are dirty bandages, which means that they're kind of risky to use, might cause an infection. So let's see, and here we have a locked door. So as you can see, we can use the key ring, but you're going to see that it's very slow. It's going to take a while to find the correct key to this door. Okay, let's check the bookcase. Those creatures are man-eaters. People are going to sleep and never waking up. We're trying to stay awake. I hope it keeps us safe. Okay, that's pretty scary. So people are dying in their sleep. That's why they're trying to stay awake. I wonder what's going on. Oh, nice, a lockpick. So we found our first two lockpicks. Lockpicks can be used to open up doors which are locked, and they're actually much faster than just using the key ring, but they are of limited use. After several times they break, so let's not use them for now. We haven't been able to determine what brings about the materialization of the anomalous objects. However, Dr. Ishimura proposed a compelling hypothesis. According to his data, the materialization occurs in the presence of high concentration of delta waves produced by the human brain during deep sleep. Okay. So basically every time they sleep, some anomalies occur. That's why they're trying to stay awake. Okay. Found some cigarettes. Actually, I don't know what's the purpose of them. Okay, now as you can see, you have a choice. You can use the... Okay, let's, since this is just a demonstration playthrough, I'm going to show you what the lockpick does. As you can see, it's much faster than using the keyring. So normally I wouldn't do that so early in the game, but doesn't really matter for this particular playthrough. Okay, we have a metal walker. Maybe we find some guns or ammunition. And by the way, guys, we can rotate the camera like this. So I found some insulating tape. This is a resource that can be used to make repairs to certain tools. So now as you can see, this lockpick is halfway broken. So what this means is that it has only one use, and after one more use it's going to break. So that's why in general we try to use the keyring unless we're really in a hurry. Okay, so now we're kind of already almost halfway tired. So there's a sofa and there's a bed. So we can each use those places to sleep. And as you can see, what happens here is those weird lights. Every time we sleep, they appear. So as we read in the notes, oh, by the way, first of all, as you can see, our stamina is gradually replenished. So once it's replenished, we can just click on this action icon here and we can stop sleeping. So and then as you can see, those weird lights are going to disappear. So these are basically delta waves, and generally you cannot see them, but here in this game they're kind of like showing them to us. So yeah, the reason that we see them is basically if we sleep long enough, the anomalies are going to appear. So this time we were just a little bit tired, so we slept just for a short time, so nothing happened. But maybe next time something else will happen. We'll see. For now, let's just continue exploring. Okay, there's a gas can over here, and here there's an axe. Nice! Okay, so we found another gas can, so we can... Let's see what else is here in the lockers. And we got a second tool, an axe, which can be used to break certain objects. Okay, here we have again the furnace and the generator. What's here? A big crate. Let's see what's in here. Okay, an air jacket. Perfect. So now we can give this to Irma, our other explorer. So both of them are going to be equally warm. So now if you remember, last time we only had this gray icon, but here we found the axe, so it means we can chop up this crate into planks. In the meantime, let's her explore this bag of trash. And we got a plank, and here are some more plants and some spoiled food. Okay, so spoiled food is food that we can eat, but it can make us sick, which is not a good thing. And we found the wire cutters, which is actually a quest item. We're going to need this to get to the next area. Also, as you can see here, this is like just our current objective. Find the electric panel, which should contain wires. So in general, this is what we need to do. And let me tell you right away, it's over here, because here we see the icons of the buildings. But anyway, let's continue with the exploration. Okay, found a shovel which can be used to dig snow, which we haven't needed them for now. Some soup which needs to be heated. Oh, more cigarettes, great. I don't know why I need this rotten wood. Okay, so actually let me demonstrate something. So let's say we wanna, as you can see, the energy is already halfway done, the energy in this generator. So let's see, we wanna refuel it. Let's see what's going to happen. So as you can see, now it's already full and the progress bar is going to start all the way from the start. But what happens is, as you can see, this progress bar is decreased. So the amount of fuel in this gas tank, in this gas can, is less. However, here we have a barrel of fuel, which means we can fill it up. And voila, it's full. Okay, and by the way, the neat thing about this is that this never runs out, okay? So you can basically keep filling up all the generators on the map, return here and just get full again. Refuel like all your gas cans, which is incredibly useful. But we spent enough time here. Let's go to the other kitchen. So hopefully we can find a place where we can heat up this can of soup and these frozen veggies. Alright, and as you can see, it's a nice effect here. Okay, what's in this crate of coal? And this sucks. Oh, what a surprise, more coal. Okay. Oh, some potatoes, nice. Okay. So let's use the axe to chop this crate also for planks. But let's see here. So this is a locked door. As you can see now, we have, I don't know where we found the crowbar, but we must have found it somewhere. Okay, so now we have three options to open this locked door. So actually using the crowbar is even faster than the lockpick. And the crowbar has more uses than the lockpick. But there is a drawback to using the crowbar as well. And the drawback is that, as you can see now, the door is broken, okay? As you can see, it's kind of bent. So, for the inside door, currently it's not an issue for now, right now. But, if the door is broken, it means that it cannot keep the house warm anymore. So later on this might be an issue. Alright, let's continue. Aha! Here we found a stove, which we can use to heat up all the stuff that we found, all the food. So let's heat up some frozen veggies. And okay, while we do that, let's open this door the old-fashioned way by looking through all the keys. Yeah, let's do it the slow way. It's gonna be a while once we heat up, we cook all the food. Might as well just not spend. Okay, so now the can of soup. Yeah, well, sometimes in the game you have to just wait, but it's not a large part of the game. Alright, here we basically spend all this time for nothing. This happens sometimes. Let's explore this freezer. Okay, and let's see, some coffee beans. Okay, nice. Coffee is very useful, by the way, because not only does you raise your satiety, but also raise your stamina. It kind of like makes you less sleepy. I know this is like wrong scientifically, but who cares? I mean, if you drink coffee, you don't actually rest, you just don't feel so sleepy anymore. Anyway, let's explore the next room. This is infirmary. Let's see. File cabinet. Aha, if you remember. So if you remember... Ooh, what the hell is that? Wow, looks ugly. Anyway, is it like a floating head with a bunch of eyes and a bunch of spikes? And are these its teeth? Yeah. So apparently this is like one of those anomalies that appears. Anyway, if you remember in the first room that we visited, there was a note from some guy, one of the researchers here, who said that he left instructions how to fight those things in the next medical center. So here are those instructions. Anomalous phenomena classification, hovering height anomaly. It looks like a levitating creature with numerous eyes, which makes it sensitive to bright light, including flashlights. It feeds on thermal energy and makes people feel tired. During our experiments, we learned that the anomaly can cool down a hot stove in seconds. Ooh, okay, so basically we need to keep it away from the stove, and if we shine a flashlight onto it, it's going to run away. Okay, that's good to know. And there you go, the page was torn out of something. I'm sure there are more, we should find them. So basically this is only the first type of anomaly, and throughout the game we're going to find other pages for other anomalies, which are going to have different instructions. But let's continue. Found some old pills and some more old pills. And here we have a medical station where we can create medkits if we have certain resources, but we need one sterilizing powder to do that, which we don't have at the moment. Anyway, let's continue exploring. Maybe we find some here. Alright, on our desk. The most frequent emergency on polar expedition is food poisoning. Absorbing pills are essential in these cases. Cuts happen less often, and medical units always have bandages on hand. For frostbite and colds, use the first aid kits, which contain components specifically made to remedy those problems. For emergency, the base contains pre-measured doses of adrenaline for intracardial injections. If someone is in a coma, adrenaline will resuscitate him or her so we can safely bring them to the hospital. So this basically explains what to do if certain health issues happen. As you can say, if you get poisoned, you eat some pills. If you get cut or injured, you get some bandages, and if you're cold, you use a med kit, which unfortunately we don't have yet. Okay, some grindstone. And if it comes to being in a state of cardiac arrest, then we can use adrenaline to resuscitate ourselves. Nice, some sterile bandages. Okay, so these are like some random events which happen sometimes. And these are totally randomized, you never know what's going to happen, but you're always given two choices. One is like the safe choice and one is the risky choice. And the risky choice has like a 50-50 chance of being something good or something bad. So let's see, you hear someone giggling in a mocking tone, but you don't see anything unusual. Is your mind playing tricks on you? So this is like a nice atmospheric event. Basically, So you're like alone in this very creepy base which is abandoned. So you start to hear some things, you're starting to feel like you go crazy. So what do? So you can just ignore it, which basically means nothing, but means you're going to just continue what you're doing without any effect. But this one, let's see, if you concentrate, here is the coin, and we are unlucky. Whoa, crazy laughter, okay. You can't shake the snickering. It's as if there's something behind your back laughing at you. It's going to drive you mad. Continue. Alright, so that was early. Hahaha, nice, okay. I didn't think I would get a chance to demonstrate this so early in the playthrough, but there you go. So this is so-called madness. So this is like something that happens in the game. If let's say if you stay awake for too long, and there are many different kinds of madnesses that can happen to you. This one is called crazy laughter. So basically what ends up happening is every time I select this character, I'm going to hear this crazy laughter. So it affects not only the character but the player as well, which I think is pretty neat. I don't know if it has any adverse gameplay effects though. I don't think it has, but I don't know, maybe it does, but we'll see. So the only way to get rid of it is to get a long nap, as it says. So if we go to sleep for a certain amount of time, it's going to disappear. But until then, we're going to hear this crazy laugh. So as you can see, when you select the other character, it's all quiet. But when you select this character, we're going to hear this crazy laugh the whole time. I'm sure we're going to get used to it. Okay, so this is empty. Oh, let's chop this. Let's see, did we find any sterilizing powder? No. Alright, so we export this room as well. Okay, so let's do this first. So let's send Irma over here, and let's let her open the door. Yeah, let's do it the slow way. But let's send Olaf back here so that he can rest and get rid of this madness. So maybe apart from the madness, I can also get to demonstrate what happens when you sleep for too long in this game. But yeah, one thing at a time. So he is running toward the bed, hearing the crazy laughter all the way. And she is taking her sweet time opening this door. Yeah, that's not going to get annoying. Anyway, let's go to bed. So now we're going to sleep until this thing disappears, even if we get our stamina full. Oh, let's get her inside. Okay, so let's see. Use electric. Ah, and there you go. You see this thing? Yeah, this is what happens when you sleep. This thing is going to disappear. So fortunately for us, if this thing hates bright lights, so since the generator is still running, it's not going to get inside. So we're safe. And the menace has disappeared, so we can get up, so we don't attract any more anomalies. But if the electricity runs out, it can go inside and it can actually cause some damage to us. But actually this is the weakest of all the alien types. So let me show you actually how you can very easily kill it. So as we saw in the instructions, if we point the flashlight towards it, it's going to run away. And there we go. So that's all we need to do. We just have to make sure we point the flashlight towards it. And as you can see, it's losing health. Unfortunately, we don't see the amount of health that it has, so we never know when it's going to die. But it will die eventually. Come on. There you go. Perfect. Okay. So let's see what happens here. So this is the electric room that we need to explore. Live electric panel. Okay. So what she says, she sees the wires. If you remember, we need to find some wires to put in the door, but basically we cannot touch the live panel. So we need to turn off the switch, which is over here. And currently we can use the tools that we can use those wire cutters to cut the wires. Oh, and back, as you can see, the generator here is not running, so we are running much more slowly, and as you can see, our visibility has been much reduced. So this is what happens when the generator is not running. If you wanna go through the place fast again, you need to put some fuel. But yeah, so we got the wires, we got what we needed, so now we can actually go over here and finish the area. But if you remember correctly, there was one more room which we left unexplored, and in general it's not a good idea to leave rooms unexplored since we might find some valuable resources there. And by the way, Olaf is almost starving basically, so at some point he's going to start complaining for food. But let's see, let's explore this place. Oh, and this room is also pretty dark, so we need to find the generator and put in some fuel. There you go, okay. Oh, we found another tool, a hammer, nice, okay. So as you can see, the satiety of Olaf is much lower than the one for Irma, and the reason for that is, if you remember, Irma's special ability was that she grows hungry slower. So it's as expected. And now, as you can see, since the generator is running, we are moving much faster. Now, all special abilities, as you can see, this thing was all the way down here, so when he fuels the generators, he's actually using the fuel more efficiently, so they're running for a longer time. I think if Irma was the one who fueled it, it was going to go only halfway through, but with Olaf it goes all the way here. So it's a good idea to always use him to fuel out both the heaters and the generators. But anyway, actually now let's, you know what? Okay, screw it. Let's use the keys. We're gonna spend some time, but whatever. Maybe while we unlock the door, I can show you the food mechanic as well. Sterilizing powder, nice. So at some point Olaf is going to complain that he's hungry, and then we need to feed him something. But yeah. Oh, another bed. Okay, and actually Irma has been pretty tired, so let's put her to rest a bit. There you go. Okay, I could eat a week's worth of rations. Is there something in the back? So as you can see, this icon basically means that he is now hungry. So he's going to gradually start losing health. So in order to avoid that, let's feed him something. And let's feed him this healing, actually hot soup. Let's give him the vegetables, yeah. Alright, so now he's going to eat them. And voila. There we go. Nice. And while Irma is sleeping, she's generating those weird lights. And there you go, another anomaly which we're going to kill with Olaf while she rests. She's trying to... So if we stay too close to the anomaly, actually it's going to start hurting us. Okay, enough sleep. Come on. Haha. He's going to the lights, which I'm pretty sure... Nice, okay. So, I think we are done with this whole area, so let's go to the exit. And this icon, I think, means that the anomaly is close, which is already dead, but I guess it takes a while for the game to realize that. Okay, let's gather our party at the exit. Let's put those wires that we found. Yeah, unfortunately this is a slow process, so, you know, we're going to lose some heat while we wait. Maybe I should send off somewhere where it's warm. Yeah, let's do that. While she does that, he's going to heat up a little bit. There you go. Almost done. Okay. Okay, where were we going? Oh, here. And we're done. So now, as you can see, there is this circular area, which means this is the zone exit. So we must gather all of our party here and click this button. And click leave. If we don't get our whole party, then somebody will be left behind. Alright, so that's it for area number 1. I think this is a good idea to stop this video. And I'll see you next time, guys, for area number 2. Till then, all the best. Bye bye.